how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So as you can tell, winter is in full swing. We got dumped with snow last night, so it is time to get the old Suzuki Carry ready for the winter. So we do have to get the snowplow on it, but there is a few other things we need to do to this thing first. So you guys remember when I built this thing a while back? I've been beating it up. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and the thing is holding together very well. Now when it gets to winter time, this thing has a very hard time starting. It's got a really complex choke system on it that really doesn't work. You guys saw it was just smoking a bunch. That is actually fuel. This thing runs so rich. The choke is completely closed off. If I manually open the choke a little bit, the thing runs 100% smooth when it's cold and warming up. But with this choke, I don't think you can even adjust it at all. But I'm gonna dive into that, see if I can figure that out. If I can't figure out how to adjust it, I may just pick up some sort of cable and just do like a manual choke system on it, just so it starts a lot easier. Other than that, the other weekend, I was mobbing out in the woods. I hit a tree and I broke the windshield washer squirter off right here. You can see that is missing. And I didn't realize that, and I went to go wash the windshield off, and I guess it squirted up inside the dash, and now my radio doesn't work. So I think it squirted the back of the radio, and it might have popped the fuse, it might have blown up the radio, I don't really know. I did pull the radio out, and I checked the fuse on the radio. That is still good. So I think there's another fuse for the radio that's built into the truck. So we're gonna find that, we're gonna check that, and then also, one of the big things I had issues with last year is this little tiny rope. Now, this is supposed to be like a synthetic rope for this winch, and this is how I lift my snowplow up and down. Now, I kept breaking that. I probably broke that once a week. I'd have to retie it. So I picked up a thick strap, like a really thick tie-down strap. I'm gonna wrap that up in the winch. Now, the reason I'm doing that for winter, I might swap back to this rope for summer, but for winter, we only need like 4 feet of rope sticking out of the winch. So a strap is gonna work a lot better for that, and it's not gonna break. So hopefully, I'm hoping I don't have to pull this whole bumper off just to swap that out. We're gonna try to finagle our hands inside that bumper and swap that out. But like I said, we got a few things to do. Let's get to work and let's go get the snow plow on. We gotta plow some snow and we gotta go have a little fun with this thing. Hey, I'm gonna stop you guys real quick and let you know I am doing a little sale for Black Friday / Cyber Monday, kind of now until Monday. I know it's a little bit late when this video came out, but I am doing a free t-shirt with any order on the website. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with the website, I got hats, sweatshirts, t-shirts. I got bumper plans for a lot of Toyota pickups. I got one for a 4Runner, the first gen Tacoma. I got a ton of stuff on the website at avrcustoms.com. Now, like I said, free t-shirt with any order. And all you got to do is drop your size, your t-shirt size, in the instructions on when you're checking out. There's a little box at the bottom that says instructions for order or something like that. Just drop your shirt size in that box so I know what to send you guys. Well, let's get back to the video. Hey, tip of the day, if you got a Suzuki Carry, don't break the windshield squirter. I had to tear apart the entire dash just to get to the nut. I'll show you where it is. So it's way up underneath the dash. You can see the line going through the hole. That squirter nut is way up underneath here, if you can even see that up there. It is a absolute pain to get to, so I guess I'm going to be extra careful from now on. Let's get this thing back together. Also, the radio, I think it's fried. I got power on the actual battery power. The ignition power is good. The ground's good. Everything is good, but the radio won't turn on. So I'm going to order up another one. Luckily, those things are like 20 or 30 bucks. They're very cheap. Well, I guess this problem resolved itself, guys. I don't know why. I've unplugged and plugged this radio in probably 5 or 6 times to try it out. I got this thing all back together in here, and I plugged it in one last time, and well, it fired up. So I'm not really sure. Maybe it dried out enough. Who really knows? But it's working now, so I guess we got tunes. All right, we finally got this wrapped up. I tried a few different ways, and the last way worked so easy. I'm sorry I didn't get it on film, but I just took some Gorilla Tape, taped it on the end of the strap, and then you can stick your hand in there like this, just tack it onto the actual drum of the winch, and then you just hold pressure on it and crank this thing down, and it is good to go. It's not going anywhere. It's probably got, I think that's like a 12 or 15 foot strap or something, so it's got plenty of bite in the winch, so we should be good to go with this. This is going to last way longer than that little tiny rope we had, just because when I do have the plow on it, it is angled way down like that, down to the plow, so there's a lot of rubbing that goes on right here. Man, I tell you what, I really miss this truck, especially in the winter time. I used to plow all this out with my tractor, and being out in the cold, it was miserable snow plowing. Now with this thing, with the heater, we got the radio, we got the tunes, windshield wipers, the whole meal deal. This thing is so nice to have in the winter. Plow out the whole driveway, and it's so small you can get in all the nooks and crannies. It really makes plowing a joy. Now I did actually find an adjustment on that carburetor for the choke, so I did crank that in. I'm gonna let it sit overnight, and we're gonna get out tomorrow. I'll try it out in the morning. Well, it is freezing ass cold out here. Let's go see if my adjustment on this choke worked. If it doesn't, I'm gonna mess around with it, see if we can get it to work. If that doesn't work, we're gonna go to Napa and get us a choke cable and just modify this thing for a manual choke. Come on. Well, now I don't want to start at all. Well, I think we got it, guys. This thing has never actually idled. I usually have to sit in there and literally keep my foot on the pedal full throttle when it's cold for this thing to run. And you can see it's warming up. Obviously, it's got a little bit of steam coming out, but usually it was just completely smoking out everything. So I think that last little adjustment we did helped this choke out a lot. It runs way better cold now. So I'm sure most of you don't care, but if you are curious on this Suzuki Carry, you can see that little screw down there. It's got the white goop on the nut. You just adjust that screw and that adjusts the choke. Well, I brought the truck into the shop. I want to give you guys an honest review of this Raptor liner. So if you're unfamiliar with this truck, we Raptor line this entire truck from the outside of the body, the inside of the bed, the bumpers. Everything is Raptor line, and like I said, it's been on here about a year, and I have not been very nice to this thing. I've been beating it up in the woods. I use it for hauling firewood. I use it for a ton. I cleaned the bed out with a shovel and a screwdriver. I feel like I have put this coating through its paces. Let's see how well it's held up. So let's take a quick walk around this thing. There's not really any damage. You can see we got some green on there from some trees. None of the actual paint is scratched off. You know, I mean, it gets dirty. Well, that was white. That wipes right off. You can see a little bit of spit shine. Those scratches come right out. Now you guys saw down here, this was on here before I painted it. I don't know, it's a previous coating or paint that is coming off. That is not the Raptor liner, you can see, but down here is, I've been smashing this thing off stumps. You can see it's all bent up. There's only just a little bit of Raptor liner that's actually chipping off there. The other side's kind of the same way. It's all bent up and beat up. But the Raptor liner is really holding together pretty well. You can see in that deep dent right there, it's a little bit flaky, but that's actually the paint underneath the Raptor liner that's pulling away from the body. So that's not actually a failure of the Raptor liner. This stuff is really honestly impressing me, especially with the inside of this bed. Like I showed you guys, I've been throwing firewood in it. I cleaned this thing with a shovel, and you can see there's a little chip right there. It's probably from a shovel. Another little chip. But all in all, this thing is holding together very, very well for what I have done to the inside of this bed. And by the way, this is not a paid advertisement for Raptor liner. I am in no way affiliated with them. I just want to give you guys an honest review, because you guys have seen me use it on all my bumpers. This whole truck, you saw that green Raptor line truck that we painted the Toyota pickup. I've used it a ton, and I feel like I've used it enough to give you guys an honest review of it. If you guys aren't familiar with Raptor liner, you can get the black, or I think they make a standard white kit, but they also make a tintable kit where you can tint it any color you want. And this stuff is very, very easy to spray. It comes with a gun, or you can buy a better gun for it. And all you gotta do is pour your hardener into the bottle, screw the gun onto the actual bottle of Raptor liner, and you spray it out. It's super, super easy to use. And as you guys can tell, it's actually a very strong coating. So like always, if you wanna check out Raptor liner, I'll have a link to the black and the tintable Raptor liner. You get it on Amazon, and it's actually a very good price. Well, with that being said, guys, I think we worked out a couple of issues on the truck. We should be good for winter now. We got a windshield washer, we got a radio that works, and just adjusting that choke made a huge difference in how it started. You saw when I first tried to start it, I adjusted it way in so it wasn't really choking at all, and it wouldn't start. So I backed it off a little bit, and it started way easier, and it actually idled. It never idled before. I would have to keep my foot on the throttle just to keep the thing running when it was cold, and it would smoke out the entire county. And it definitely doesn't do that anymore, so I'm happy with that. We don't have to go to a manual choke, although I still am kind of tempted to. If this thing acts up at all, I might do a cable, just because it's so easy. Just pull the cable out, you know what it's doing, and you know it's never gonna let you down. But either way, that is a wrap for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Why don't you go smash that thumbs up button, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.